I think we're live. Maybe. Maybe. Bit early today. But yeah, I'm gonna keep cracking on with some Inceptors. Keep this train on the road. Get a unit finished. It's been ages since I finished a unit. I'm gonna put light on in here as well. Think afternoon or afternoon. Good. We are live. Good afternoon. I think I'm going to start with some lead belcher, I think. And do a lot of the piping with lead belcher, I think. And a bit of the guns and a bit on the feet. I mean, maybe even the armor joints need some lead belcher in them as well. There'll be a heap of lead belcher to do on this guy. Or these guys. Plural. Do that. Let's start with lead belcher. I've got my boy with me today. You okay, Michael? Yeah? Do you need help?
No.
No? You happy? Cool. He's watching Spider-Man, so if you hear any excited shouts, it's Michael. He's here. You can see him hiding just behind the phone here. So I can't go live tonight, so I'm live this afternoon for a little bit. What's happening anyway? Yeah, it won't be long before I can get him into 40k, will it? Like age 10 or something. He's 3 and he's doing age 10 plus Lego. We did some Lego this weekend that was like 10, or sorry, last weekend that was like 10 plus. I mean, bar like a couple little bits, he managed the whole set himself. So if you can manage 10 plus Lego at level at age 3, yeah, I imagine like 8 years old we'll be painting some really badly painted Space Marines. Hopefully, maybe. But yeah. So I had a beautiful one thick coat, exactly. Hello, Stalkin. I had a beautiful play with these Inceptors this week, actually, where they arrived from Deep Strike and they shot at a unit of Death Shroud Terminators. And I think they killed the entire unit of Death Shroud Terminators, and they killed, and they did 3 wounds to the leader as well. And then they blew up 2 of their own unit. They rolled 2 1s for the hazardous, and I had no CP to reroll the hazardous. But it didn't matter. The main thing was that they killed the Death Shroud. I felt pretty good about that. I feel like I'm embracing plasma fire now. Before I really hated it. I've played it enough now where I'm sort of quote unquote embracing plasma fire a little bit. You okay, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Let me know if you need anything, boy. You once lost 5 Inceptors to a single roll. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Having played Plasma at like 15 games now, yes, you have those like really spiky rolls. But they also spike the other way, where like turns and turns and turns of shooting high power plasma and nobody dies, right? And do you know what? I really hate playing against Death Guard in general, because every time I move any of my Sangre Guard forward at all, Death Guard just kill them all. It's like Sangre Guard's armor is irrelevant against Death Shroud. Not against Death Shroud, just against Death Guard in general. You know, when they put you onto Toughness 3 and they build in that extra pip of AP all the time while you're in Contagion, your armor is very much relevant. Like, Sangre Guard they just fall over. It's like they're not even wearing armor, I swear to you, against Death Guard. So, I have really found the Hellblasters now, which I've been playing Hellblasters for like the last 12 or 13 games now. I'm really in love with two. Yes, sweetheart.
I want a different snack.
Right, you just had a big, huge snack, Michael.
Why?
Well, because we got it from downstairs, didn't we?
But I want a different snack.
Well, you always do this when you finish your snack and you want another snack straight away. We're going to watch a little bit Spidey before we get another snack. No.
But I want.
Well, you can go play in your room, but you can't go downstairs and bother Mummy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is you debating with a 3-year-old about snacks. It's a hard life, eh? Michael always does this though. He gets a snack, he eats the entire snack, and then he decides that that's not the snack he wanted, and he needs another snack. It's like, you needed to decide that before you ate the whole snack, Michael. Yeah, Death Guard, I don't know if I would say it's quite a bad matchup. I mean, it's nowhere near as bad a matchup as it was before this Balanced Data Slate came out, right? Like, I feel like before this Balanced Data Slate came out, I just lost to Death Guard every game. I did beat them this week. And it wasn't the most convincing victory, but, I mean, it was a new list that I don't have a ton of experience playing with, and I felt pretty good about this week's game against Death Guard, actually. I felt like the points changes were enough. I mean, they're still a very deadly army, right? Yeah, I don't think it's an auto-lose matchup at all now. I think before they took 200 points off the list, I think it was a horrendous matchup. I mean, I played it 6 times, I'd lost to it 5 times. So it wasn't always a loss, but the one time I beat it, it was like, maybe got lucky or something. But yeah, I think with the new points cost, I feel like I can at least give Death Guard a run for their money. I think Death Guard are definitely beatable. I still think Sangre Guard are... well, I think in general, any unit, any melee unit you send in to do a task is then going to instantly get picked up. Because they're just so deadly. Right, like Death Shroud, what is it, like Lance, Sustained, Lethals, AP3. Like, it's just so deadly. So I think as long as you're aware of, like, that's what's going to happen to your melee units, then I think you can possibly do okay against Death Guard. If you're playing an entire melee army, like, you don't have any fire support, like, you aren't bringing any Inceptors, you aren't bringing any Vindicator tanks, you aren't bringing anything, if you aren't bringing any fire support, then I think it's a really difficult matchup. Because I think anytime anything gets close in, then it's... basically, once you're in contagion range, they just delete you. Like your saves just become almost irrelevant, and they just delete you. I think that was the problem I was having, right? Like, I just kept taking units of Sangre Guard against them, going like, if I keep taking them, I'll eventually figure out a way to beat them. But no, I think the answer against them is just to not run that many Sangre Guard. Hello, Phil. Good afternoon. Hello, Matthew. Am I watching Nova Open? No, dude, I haven't been doing anything today. I've been looking after my kids all morning. Michael's actually just here. Aren't you, Michael? Shout hello. Yeah. What are you watching, Michael?
Hey.
Spider-Man. Yeah, you love Spider-Man, don't you? What did we watch this morning for the first time ever? Do you remember?
Batman.
Batman. And what was Batman made out of?
Lego.
Lego Batman. Was that a good movie?
No.
No? Well, I'm glad I wasted 2 hours of my life watching it with you. Why was it not a good movie? Well, kids, man. Good afternoon, Phil. How you doing? I did see your message, actually. I saw that I had a new message. I didn't mark it as read because I guess it came in while I was at work, and I don't like to try and reply to messages and read messages and stuff while I'm at work. So yeah, Matthew, I did see it. I just haven't had a chance to look at it. I will 100% have a look at it though. The Lego Batman movie was good. He's lying. He really enjoyed it. We enjoyed that Lego Batman movie this morning. I'm trying to get him into Batman because, like, Disney Plus has all the Marvel stuff, but, like, it's got nothing about DC. And, I like Batman. Why not? What's wrong with Batman? Batman 3 out of 10, no reason, just as... Do you know that Lego Batman movie was pretty funny, actually? I'm surprised they never made another... Or did they make another one? I'm just out of the loop. I just thought they only ever made one. What made you paint the Inceptor gold? Here's my reasoning for painting any unit gold. I have, like, in general... It just comes down to if I have just painted a crap... I better try not to swear while he's in the room. It just comes down to if I've painted a lot of other models in a red colour scheme, like recently, for example. That really what it comes down to is, like... I think, like, for example, I think when the Blade Guard came out in, like, the... Was it, like, the 9th edition box set? I would have been painting all the other units in that box red, probably. So when I got to the Blade Guard, I was just like, you know what? I've just painted 2 or 3 squads of red. I'm sort of bored of painting red. So I'm just going to paint them, like, I painted my Blade Guard gold. I basically painted them in, like, Sangre Guard colours. I figured as well for Blade Guard it kind of made sense because they're, like... Blade Guard are supposed to be veterans of, like, the first company, and Sangre Guard are kind of... I mean, they're, like, kind of the level above the first company. Michael, you've been told when you sit in here not to swing in that chair, please. So I think with the Inceptors, it was just probably the same thing. It was like, I already had 3 red Inceptors. Like, the red ones are my bolter ones. So I was probably just like, I don't want to paint another 3 guys in the exact same colour scheme that I've just done. If I choose gold, that switches it up a bit. So I often do a model in gold. I've never done a tank in gold. I've done a Dreadnought in Death Company colours. I've done a tank, or like an Impulsor in Death Company colours. But I've never actually done a tank in gold or a Dreadnought in gold. But maybe that's the future. I'm struggling to paint my Blade Guard. I think they look fine in red. I think the trick is probably... I really like the Blade Guard with white shields. Like, I really think if you're struggling with them, have you tried white shields? I think the Ultramarines ones probably on the GW website look like they've got white shields. And I think the white shields, I think they look really dope. White is such a pain though, because depending on the white paint you have, you might have to do like multiple coats and stuff. But if you can get a nice white paint that has good coverage, I think white shields on the Blade Guard look really, really, really cool. I think they look fine in red, honestly, because I've got some in red, and I've got some in gold. And I think maybe it's the shields that make or break the Blade Guard. Should have painted them Lamenters. I don't really like... The yellow I paint with is Averland Sunset, and I hate it. I don't think it's got very good coverage. I'm going to paint the Aquila with Blood Angels Contrast Red, because I think Blood Angels Contrast Red over the Aquila, like over the top of the gold, will give it this... Like, I've done that on some of my Sangre Guard models, but I'm going to do that last, right? Because I don't like once you've painted the contrast red on that, you can't really touch it up or anything like that. So I'm probably gonna paint the Blood Angels contrast red over the Quillas and do that as the last step. But if you've never tried Blood Angels contrast red over the top of gold, I recommend it. It gives you a pretty cool, like, I mean, I guess it just gives you like a metallic gold, right? Sorry, a metallic. It makes the contrast paint look golden underneath. I mean, it is golden underneath, right? I have a repulsor in gold, says Shadow Knight. Oh, good. Everybody's tuning in now. Hello, hello. Good afternoon. White America says, boy, slap chop, Blood Angel speed paint has changed my life. Well, I'm glad that you've managed to slap chop and change your life. I have not changed my life, and I am painting in my true and tested, slow and steady way as always.
I don't want a pillow behind.
You don't want the lumber pillow. Pass it here then.
Okay, Darby.
Thank you for the pillow, Michael. Okay. I've got my 3-year-old with me this afternoon. We've been hanging out all day. I figured I wouldn't get some painting done. Pro acrylic white titanium is the best white. Yeah, I've heard people talk about pro acrylic. Michael.
I do not want to see water new ones because the new ones are not what I like.
Right, Michael, you're watching Spidey. If you want something else, you'll have to ask. But come on, man. It's been like 10 minutes.
Some burns.
I don't know how well you could hear him, but he's just raging in the corner because I guess this isn't the right episode of his TV show. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think if I've got a model that I can show you what Blood Angels Contrast Red looks like over the top of gold. Yeah. Like on this axe head. That'd just be Blood Angels Contrast Red over the gold. This is quite an old model. It actually looks like it's dulled down a bit. I think it's probably more vibrant when it's new or newer. These guys were probably painted. Blood Angels. I think contrast paint came out like... Michael, there are loads of crisps. Look down on your seat where you're sitting, in between your legs.
Yeah.
Stay on the seat. Just a load of crisps on a seat. Ah, kids, man. How are we doing, Volker? It was lonely in Twitch. Oh, well, you can see the chat on screen, but yeah, I guess it could be a bit lonely. Any tips playing lag into Custodes? I mean, I like to shoot Custodes. Everything's got a 4-up invuln. Pretty much. I think like Vindicator tanks are very good against Custodes. Especially if they're infantry heavy lists. But I suppose if you're a new player, you're probably not running Vindicator tanks. The thing about Custodes...
Put my bow down.
Right, just leave it on the floor, Michael, it's fine. I will clean it when you're done, okay? When you're a new player, you probably don't have that. But yeah, I think the thing with Custodes is everything is difficult to kill. So you probably want to overcommit like 2 units to kill 1 unit, but you need to make sure you're killing units. Because even like 1 or 2 Custody Wardens left, they've got decent OC, they've got decent damage output. You definitely don't want them to be charging you, and you also definitely need to know which ones of them have fight first, because some of their characters can indeed do stuff like fight first. Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks for asking. I have a Vindicator, a Ballistus, and a Gladiator Lancer. Perfect. Then Oath of Moment, a big unit of Custodes, the biggest unit he's got on the board in terms of models. Get your bonus extra shots from Blast, and blow his Terminators off the board with the Vindicator tanks. It's probably going to be your most valuable piece against Custodes. So don't let him charge your tank for all love. You know, put a unit in front of it so he can't charge it. Keep it out of combat. Shoot your Oath of Moment target every turn. Blow up as many Custodian guards and Terminators as possible. And then once the unit's weak, then you can charge them. But yeah, because their whole army's got like that 4-up invuln save, it can be quite spicy sometimes. Like if they roll, you know, if you play against a Custodes player and you play 5 turns, I guess, which you normally do, there's going to be one save in the game where he just completely, like, he has to make 10 4-up saves, he's going to pass all of them. And when that happens, then you're going to be in deep shit. And it's probably going to happen at least once in the game, right? Once in the game, whatever you're attacking is just going to, like, all your attacks are just going to bounce off it and do no damage. Because if you know, just sort of laws of averages, if you just keep rolling 4-ups for the entire game, which is probably what he's going to be doing, at some point it's going to spike. You really ought to do some painting today. Yes, you should. You should paint every weekend. Do you have a recipe for Death Company? I mean, I paint them Abaddon black and then edge highlight them, but I probably wouldn't recommend doing that because that is the slowest way of painting them. I think some people have been saying that the Black Templar contrast black paint is supposed to be amazing. But yeah, I haven't used the Black Templar contrast paint yet. I'm honestly not a big... It's not that I'm like against contrast paint, it's just that I don't actually own that much of it, and I don't... You know, like I've been painting my models the same way for a while, so I don't really innovate too much on my paint scheme. I just keep doing what I've been doing. I probably should innovate at some point to do stuff quicker. But I don't, I guess. So if you're going to paint some black models using the Black Templar's contrast paint, then what's the plan? Do you undercoat them in grey cere or something? And then just slap Black Templar's contrast over them? Like, what's the pipeline? Because I actually have no idea what the pipeline is for that. Because I would probably just spray my models Abaddon black and then just edge highlight everything, which takes forever. Probably takes like 2 or 3 hours per guy to edge highlight it. It's probably why you don't see me painting black on the channel all that much. Because it's slow and tedious. And also you make a lot of mistakes when you're edge heighting on black, so you end up just going back and trying to tidy it up, and it's a horrible back and forth process that just takes time. Afternoon, Casual Cambo. How's things? Oh, Kevin, I didn't see you sneak into chat. How are you? I feel like when I finish painting the Death Company models that I have, I should probably just maybe that's what I should do, is like draw a line under the firstborn ones and be like, my firstborn Death Company are painted my old way, and get a new, faster way for painting the new ones. That would probably make the most sense. Black base, white zenithal highlight, and then slop on the contrast, and it's easy peasy. I might do that then. I'm trying to think what I've still got in progress. I've got a few Death Company models, possibly a captain, an impulsor. I think I painted the. I had a Death Company Redemptor, but I'm sure that's painted. So yeah, I don't think I've got too much unpainted Death Company. So maybe I should just, yeah. It always feels a bit weird. Like, I very rarely change my color schemes, but I think I probably should, just to get more done. Michael, can you stop swinging on that chair, please, Mike? Am I still playing Ultramarines? No, I went to a tournament with Ultramarines. I think that was the beginning of August? Yeah, I think it was like the first weekend of August. So I haven't played Ultramarines for a month. I've been back playing Angelic Inheritors. But I'm honestly really glad that I played Ultramarines, because it really opened my eyes to a few things that maybe I wasn't doing correctly when I was playing Inheritors, and maybe some of the units that I wasn't utilizing. So I really think it's a good experiment now and again to play something that's very different. Like different chapter of Space Marines or something. Like, it really benefited me, I think. I played Black Templars for a bit last edition. I played Guilliman a bit last edition as well. There is something quite fun about playing Guilliman, though. He usually just, you know, he just wanders in and casually, like, deletes entire units all by himself. He is pretty fun. I do miss a little bit the Ultramarines +1 to wound from Oath of Moment. Like, that's just so damn good. Like, I think that ability is just, it's just top tier, honestly. Afternoon, Eternal Crusader, how you doing? Shadow Knight says, I'm just starting my second army. It's going to be Guard. Why did I pick another 100 datasheet army? No one knows. 360 battle line units to go. If I had 360 battle line units to paint, I think I would. Do you remember those paints you could just dip them in? Just dip them in, done. Dip them in, done. Dip them in, done. I wasn't really expecting an early stream either, but we're gonna be busy this evening, so I've got the kid. I've got Michael here with me. He's watching Spider-Man. And I've got like an hour or so I'm just going to be hanging out, trying to get some lead belcher on a lot of these Inceptors. I think for the foreseeable future, though, like, my list, unless I dramatically change my mind, and I don't think I'm going to, because I like running lists that no one else has come up with. I like doing my own thing. I'd rather do my own list and it be less competitive than just copy what's strongest in the meta, if that makes sense. Does that make me silly, or does that make me dumb, or whatever? I mean, if it does, so be it. I just like to, you know, I just like to be different. I just like to make my own lists, whatever you want to call it. So, I've made this list that's got 16 guys in it with plasma guns, and, well, actually more, because both my captains have plasma guns. So I've got like 18 plasma guns in my list, and It's not a typical Blood Angels list, I would say. It's, you know, it's definitely quite a bit different. What's up? Right, stop pulling on that cable. You'll break your headphones if you pull on that cable, Mike. But it's fun, so that's, you know, and I mean, if you're not having fun when you're playing Warhammer, I feel like, what are you doing? Because it's supposed to be fun, right? Why are you here if you're not trying to have fun? I see the Nisha has joined us. Yeah. Is that what we're calling him? The Servitor. I think I'm the Servitor, right? He just tells me what he wants and I have to get it. I want to put some green into their eye sockets tonight. Do you think I put green in, like, random question, do you put green in this sort of blast shield socket? Because I guess, would you? Michael, you won't hear it if you take your headphones off, sweetheart.
No, I don't want to hear.
You don't want to hear your TV show? Come on, do you want to watch something else?
Yeah.
What do you want to watch? You want to watch more Batman?
No.
No? You want to watch Bluey?
I want to.
You want to watch Lucas the Spider?
Look at the spider.
Yeah, you want to watch some Lucas? Do you remember if Lucas the Spider is on Disney Plus or Netflix? Do you remember?
On Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Alright, I'm glad you remember. Oh, watch your head. Put your headphones back on or you won't be able to hear Lucas.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's not Lucas.
Yeah, I know, that's Barbie. Lucas the Spider, okay? Do you like Bluey, Phil? Hello, Jim. Been ending the edition with knights mostly. Had enough of lag, even post nerf. They're OP. Oh, you think the knights are OP even post nerf? Do you? I think Arding 25, good evening. I think that Inceptors, if you had one of those storm speeders, would actually be really, really great against vehicles, right? Because, like, if you're twin linked with +1 to wound. Michael, please stop swinging on the chair, okay? Please stop swinging. Okay? He doesn't answer, he just looks at you like, how dare you talk to me? Yeah, I think I was trying to think about that. I was like, could I get a storm speeder into my angelic inheritors list? Because I think +1 to wound on the Inceptors would be amazing. And I figured if I was having problems with this list, if I was still not winning games, then that was probably a direction I was going to go in. But I have won the last two. I've only played this new list twice, and I've won both times. That doesn't actually mean anything. Just means maybe it doesn't suck. But yeah, I feel like I need more practice with it. I need to lose some games, and then maybe think about bringing in a storm speeder, because I do have a storm speeder. I did buy one of them. I did magnetize it so I can run it as any of the 3 variants. But this list is pretty cool because of the ignore cover stuff. Because I can ignore cover on one unit, and then all my shooting is just basically AP3 or AP4. May I ask what chair you're using? It's a Herman Miller chair. Michael? No. Don't be taking stuff off Mum's desk because she'll be angry. I think it's called COSM. COSM is the name of the chair. But they do crazy sales on Herman Miller. Like, I think they do 30 or 40% sales. So, maybe keep an eye. And don't, I feel like everywhere does sales these days, though, right? Like, well, it's August, right? Black Friday is not far away. There'll be a Black Friday sale, I'm sure. So maybe have a look in Black Friday. Whenever I get to somewhere like August, or yeah, maybe even not August, but by the time it's August, like if you want to buy anything tech related, not that I've bought anything tech related in a while, but like at some point in the future when I need to buy a new TV, I'm not going to buy it any other time of the year except Black Friday, because yeah, if you need anything in tech, and Amazon always do like a, what do they call it, like an Amazon Prime Day, and all their speakers are like half price, and all their tablets are like better than half price. We got the kids tablets like better than half price in that Amazon Prime Day. I think a good kids tablet these days is like $200. In the Prime Day sale, I think they were like $69. Mornings, Boris. How you doing? Rosto says, Inceptors have been working great to crack transports. I'm done with the Lancer. Too swingy, not enough volume to crack invulnerable saves reliably. Yeah, I've always kind of felt that with the Lancer. I must admit, I've barely, like, I bought a Lancer, I've barely used it. I've probably played it 5 times this entire edition. Not my favourite at all. I still think it's a little bit scary if you come up against an enemy Lancer, just because, like, sometimes a Lancer will just instantly pop an enemy vehicle. You know, like, you fail both saves, they roll their damage, boom. 15 wounds, you're dead. But, like, sometimes, it really... they really do nothing as well. Yeah, the Herman Miller chair was because it was at the end of the year and I was going to have to pay a tax bill, so I needed to buy something. But it's comfy. I would recommend it. I think it's probably the best office chair I've had. I like it because it's breathable. I feel like I'm always too hot, so a breathable chair is better for me. It's got good back support as well, which is nice. It's not even Halloween, no holiday talk. No, but I mean, if you're going to be buying, if you're going to be buying any big purchases, and it's the end of August, I think you've got to wait, right? Just wait till Black Friday. You'll save hundreds of bucks, man. Like, what's the cutoff for you, Phil, right? Like, you know, like, even if I was wanting a new pair of trainers, or sneakers, I guess, as you say in America, right? Like, if you want a new pair of sneakers at the end of August, surely you're just like, well, I'll just wait like 2 months and get them in Black Friday and save half. Like, I'm pretty sure the Nike store do a 30 or 40% sale here in the UK. I mean, full price Nikes are kind of mental, but when it's like 30 or 40% off, then it's like, yeah, it's alright. Kevin says, I have a Hawthorne chair, which is a fancy brand, and I love the thing. My Secret Lab chair is a brick by comparison. Yeah, so I had a Secret Lab chair, and I thought it was good until I got the Herman Miller chair. Like, I honestly thought the Secret Lab chair was pretty good. And then I got the Herman Miller chair, and I was like, it's just on a whole nother level. I guess Secret Lab just have really, really good branding. Like, they make you think that it's like the best chair you're ever going to own. And I mean, it's not a bad chair, but there is brands that are a lot better, I feel like. But then, I mean, the main thing I think if you're going to buy a new chair is try and test it before you buy it, because you bit of a pain in the arse to buy a chair that you're going to have to sit in for hundreds of hours and you get it and you don't think it's very comfortable. I mean, that's the thing with Secret Lab, you can't test them. You need to find a friend that's got one. Lancers work for your opponent, but never for you. Do you know what? I've played against a lot of opponents where Lancers have not worked for them as well. You know, they get to shoot the Lancer one time. You know, they miss once or they wound once and it damages once, and it's like, cool, you paid 185 points for like 5 damage to one vehicle, and that was it. Well, I don't think Lancer's 185 points, sorry, that's Vindicators. But yeah, you know, you pay a lot of points for, sometimes with a Lancer, for very, very little. You don't have a guard player on your stream. Not very often. I think I have played guard on stream, but not for a while. Maybe not even this edition. But I have played it on stream before. Last Dracon. Dracon? I got 2 versus 2, 1k each event next month, teaming with Necrons, trying to brew an infantry only list to play off 2 Wraith Procs and 1 Arc. I love the gold. Oh, thanks, dude. Trying to play infantry only. You playing Liberator Assault Group? You playing Angelic Inheritors? Like, what's the detachment and what are you trying to achieve, right? Like, if you're playing infantry only, you're 2 blocks of Wraiths, so they're on a block of on a Doomsday Arc, right? Now, that's a tough question, actually. Is that's surely not 1,000 points, though, right? Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I do really appreciate it. Yeah, because like 6 Wraiths is 220 points. How many points is Doomsday Arc? 200. Yeah, so the Necron player has to have something else, right? Sadly, the Black Friday deals are not what they used to be here in the USA. I mean, maybe they're not what they used to be, but they're still significant. You're still talking like... I feel like some websites will still do 50%. I don't know if that's not... if that's not perceived as a good deal anymore. But usually, like, if I know what the price is 365 days a year and the price is 50% off, that's what I want to be buying, right? I'm one of those people that don't believe in gaming or racing chairs. Office chairs have so much research into them, they just can't be surpassed, the high-end office chairs. Yeah, I mean, I guess high-end office chairs have a much higher spend cap, though, right? Like, and I don't think gaming chairs are inherently bad. Like, I have a gaming chair at work, and I sit in that chair for... I guess I work 9 hours Monday through Thursday, so I sit in that chair for, like, 36 hours every week. And, like, it's not an uncomfortable chair at all. It's Secret Lab, you know? Like, it's totally fine. In fact, like, before I got the Herman Miller chair, I thought it was, like, a really good... I was really pleased with it. I really thought it was a great chair. So I mean, I don't think gaming chairs are per se a bad thing. But yeah, you can go higher quality than a gaming chair with like a high-end office brand, I guess. Matthew says ballistas seem amazing. What in what context, Matthew? To go with the Necrons? If you strain your lower back a lot, you should try and do some deadlifting. Deadlifting is like a very simple exercise where you just bend down while lifting weights. I mean, if you Google or you search YouTube how to do deadlifts, there's going to be hundreds of videos on it. My lower back used to be in pain almost like every day. And I think that was from like having young children and being on the floor with them all the time and climbing and picking them up. And then I watched a video where someone was like, if you just start deadlifting, you'll build the muscles in your lower back. And like, how are you going to hurt yourself picking up your kid when you can deadlift? Like, you should be able, like an average human male should be able to like deadlift their body weight, or even, I think maybe even they should be able to lift their body weight times 2. Without too much training, right? Like, I basically got up to lifting my own body weight in like maybe not a month, but it didn't take long at all, right? And like, if I can lift my own body weight, and that's basically on your lower back, how are you going to hurt yourself picking up your children? That's why I was deadlifting, because I kept getting sore backs, and I couldn't understand why I had a sore back. I think it was because like I'm carrying my children all the time. And when you're carrying a child, you're not carrying it in like proper form, right? Like you would be if you're doing the exercise. So if you've got a bad lower back, I highly recommend deadlifts. Like, it's been game changing for me. Like, I am never in pain with my lower back, where I used to wake up every morning in my bed, barely able to sit up in bed because my lower back was so sore. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it's what, you know, it just means your muscles in your lower back are struggling, and you need to train them. And they train up so darn fast, it's crazy. Black Friday is now a week long rather than a day online. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit longer, but there's still deals to be had, I feel like. You guys are being very critical about Black Friday. I always manage to find a deal in Black Friday, I feel like. I mean, I'm not buying anything super expensive, but usually manage to find something. I'm going to add some scouts for secondaries. Yes, scouts would be good, last Draken. I'm going to add some intercessors for sticky. Yes, that would be good too. If you're going to go for just some durable, do you have Blade Guard? Could you get 12 Blade Guard in there? Maybe even getting a couple of Impulsors? Maybe even get Judasars? Tim says, thank you for your channel, John. I play Templars, but I've learned a lot from watching your battle reports and advice. Thanks for watching, Tim. I have played Templars on the channel before. I haven't played them for a while. The new codex is supposed to be good for Templars, right? Like, people were saying it was going to be too strong. I must admit, I haven't looked at the new codex yet. Oh, when you were talking about Lancers, 2 Ballistas a lot of the times pop off. Yeah, I think I would always take Ballistas Dreadnoughts over Lancers, man. I just think they're more versatile, they're cheaper. They got more OC. I mean, they actually got more survivability as well if you put down to it as well, because they're on a 2-up save, whereas Lancers a 3-up save. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of Lancers, man. Deadlifts are good for the soul. Yeah, I mean, deadlifts are good for the soul. I think working out in general is just good for the soul, right? But yeah, I think deadlifts are really good on your lower back, and you can start really low, right? Like, you can start from having like no lifting experience whatsoever, and you can do them at home as well. Like, I do the majority of my working out in my garage. I'd like to go to a gym more often, because obviously a gym would have better equipment than what's in my garage, but like, I do have 2 young children that can't be left alone, so maybe in the future, when I can leave them alone, I'll get a new gym membership. But for now, I just work out, and I work out a lot in the garage. You know, you do what you, and it, you know, like I said, it has helped my back an awful lot. You know, I remember probably like a few years ago, right? Sitting around at my desk at work, thinking to myself, like, why is my back so sore when all I do is sit around at a desk and use computers? And I think in that sentence is a bit like of an oxymoron. That sentence is the cause and the answer. The reason that it's sore is because all I do is sit around. It's not the fact that, like, the back isn't getting sore from sitting. The back is getting sore because I'm being lazy and sitting all the time, right? So it was like, in my head, I was saying, like, why is it sore? But I was the one causing it to be sore by not ever doing any exercise for my back, right? There's a lot of wacky combos in Templars now. Yeah, I need to get into it, Eternal Crusader. I do have the book. I just haven't... I was thinking maybe we should do it on the Grot's channel. We should dive into the new Templars Codex. I've got 12 Blade Guard and 1 Judasar, but I got a drop pod. I don't own any vehicles outside the drop pod and some dreads. Dude, if you don't own any impulsors, you have to get an impulsor, right? Am I tripping, or is there no advance in charge in Inheritors? Correct, yes. Inheritors has fallback, shoot, and charge, no advance in charge. That's like the one big negative of Inheritors that makes it probably a little bit harder to pilot than it makes it a little bit harder to pilot than Liberator Assault Group, because the fact that Liberator Assault Group has advance in charge means that if you mess up your movement phase, which happens, you know, especially if you're a new player or not, you get a little bit of leeway there because you have advance in charge as a strat. But no, Inheritors does not have advance in charge. Big negative. It's probably one of the biggest negatives of Inheritors, honestly. It means that you're like, all your movement just needs to be on point because you do not have that extra reliability. I mean, Mephiston has advance in charge in Inheritors because that's his rules, but no, nothing else can do that as far as I'm aware. I'm happy to be corrected, but I'm pretty sure... I mean, I've been playing Inheritors now for like 5 months or something, so I don't think I've missed it. It surprises a lot of people, though, because people always say, like, you can advance in charge, right? And I'm like, no, not in this detachment. I guess people just expect that from Blood Angels, usually. Michael, please stop swinging. You're bashing the desk, okay? Michael. You know when... you know when you're like trying to talk to them and they don't even acknowledge you? It's like, you don't even exist. Like, how dare you tell me about this again, Dad? You don't even exist to me right now. You can say my name as many times as you like. I am not even going to acknowledge that you exist. Hello, Go For It painting. Remember when we could do the 3d6 charge? I think we used to be able to do a 3d6 charge, and wasn't it like we could re-roll it or something as well? I think it was 3d6 and it was re-rollable, honestly. Yeah, but I do also remember when we could have a 129-point jump captain that could literally kill everything in the game, right? Like, I remember taking out a super heavy tank that had, like, 30 wounds and void shields in one turn. with a 129 point captain, because you could give him a Thunderhammer that had like flat 4 damage. You could get like 8 attacks, I think it was, and then he could attack a second time in the same phase. Back when I think it used to just be called Honor the Chapter. It was just like, you just fight again for 2 CP. Like, remember when Khorne Berserkers used to fight twice? And then there was a stratagem so they could fight a third time, because Khorne Berserkers that fight twice are totally fine. Khorne Berserkers that fight 3 times, yeah, that's fine as well, no problem. Like, I remember that strat for Khorne Berserkers where they could fight like 3 times, and it was like, oh my god, this is just so silly. Slam Gwinius, yeah. There was nothing wrong with that. Well, there was nothing wrong when you were playing it, correct? When your opponent just lost their best unit.
Daddy, I'm done watching up here.
Well, I told you have to stay up here because Mum's busy.
I do not want to watch.
Alright, well, do you want to go to your room and play for a little bit?
Hey, Daddy, turn it off.
Right, listen, don't be shouting at me. You weren't even talking to me a second ago. Right.
I don't want to listen to
Right, pop your headphones off and talk to me normally, please.
They're not like to listen to
Right, do you want to go to your room and play for a little minute?
I don't want to go down.
No, you can't go downstairs, I've told you that.
Play down.
Not right this minute.
Please let me play downstairs.
No, because you'll not play downstairs, you'll just bother Mummy. And I told you,
I
Mummy,
will not bother Mommy.
you will too.
No, I will.
I don't believe you.
I won't.
Guys, you see the joy. Like, they have kids, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
Let me out.
Let you out. Okay, but listen, you have to play in your room, okay?
But not if I don't want to. What I want to do is play downstairs.
Like, I've told you can't play downstairs. No.
I'm going to give Mom a hug.
Right, you can go give Mum a hug, but then come right back upstairs and play in your room, okay?
Oh,
Promise me.
I want to do downstairs. Ah! Yeah.
Don't hit me, that's not nice.
Ah!
Hey, no, I'm not messing with you.
Pull me out.
Right. Right, you can go downstairs and see Mum, but then you come right back upstairs. Promise me. I'm gonna have to go in a minute and get him to to get him to come back upstairs. Yeah. It's not really a negotiation. It's just me asking and him not listening, right? Like, there's not really a tit for tat, is there? Kids. Yeah, you love your kids, but my goodness, are they frustrating, huh? Whew. Okay. I don't know why I gave this guy like an iron halo, because obviously Inceptors do not have an iron halo. Frankie says, I feel you, John. My 6-year-old just kicked me out of my own bed. I love it when the kids ruin the stream. It's worth it. I just think that probably I don't come across as a very good parent on stream, because I'm like, I feel like they should at least listen sometime, you know? Like, it would be nice if I'm like, right, you have to go do the... What, Michael?
So, please don't let me walk because I do not want to lay down.
Alright, just don't bother Mummy, please. The one cool thing, I guess, about this modern world we live in is that we can, let's see if this will work. Is he bothering you?
No, not really.
Alright, if he is, will you let me know and I'll come and get him? Yeah, I don't know why I put an iron halo on this guy. I think it came off like the original Blood Angels upgrade sprue. I just thought it looked cool. I mean, I know that you can't have an iron halo. It's almost a running joke that Space Marine units can't have an invulnerable save, where just about everything else now has invulnerable saves, right? And then I have done a video about the 2 rules that you pick for Angelic Inheritors. Yeah, you should always pick Carmine Wrath and is it called Sanguinary Grace, the one that lets you fall back, shoot, and charge. The third one that's like reroll, advance, and charge, you don't want that. I mean, reroll, advance, and charge on paper is not that bad, but the strength of Angelic Inheritors is just being able to leave any combat you're not going to win. And I guess reroll all the hits and wounds, right? So I think that you always want to reroll hits and wounds of 1. You always want to fall back, shoot, and charge. I have a ton of patience. Sometimes I have a ton of patience. Sometimes I'm just like, you kids are driving me bonkers. But I think that everybody's patience goes up and down, right? I feel like I want to get some bronze onto the guns on these guys. I haven't decided what. Maybe this back panel will be bronze or something. But like I feel like if I had a bronze on the gun as well, then I think that it would add like quite a lot to the models. Like it would just help break up some of the gold, I think. So I haven't quite worked out what I want to paint bronze, but I feel like I do want to make something bronze. I mean, on this one we could make the Iron Halo or this little gauntlet thing bronze. But I do think I want to put some bronze onto these guns. I did take the reroll, advance, and charge a few times. I'm sure I did a video on the reroll, advance, and charge. It would be great. Yeah, I think because there isn't an advance and charge stratagem, I think you want the... I think the reason you want the fall back and shoot and charge is because you want to dive in with little, like, one of the ways that people are playing Angelic Inheritors was like 3 little squads of 3 Sangry Guard. So you want to jump into, charge an opponent with your 3 Sangry Guard and a captain, do some damage, take the objective. Whether or not you win that combat is irrelevant. You just fall out of combat, shoot your pistols maybe at that same unit, grenade another unit, and charge somewhere else, right? Actually thinking about that, are you allowed to fall back and throw grenades? I don't know if you can do that, but you definitely do want to fall back quite often and shoot and then charge somewhere else. And the cool thing I think about Angelic Inheritors is if you have, let's say you only have the 1 captain and 1 Sangry Guard, that's still OC4, assuming you kept the banner guy alive, and they get like 9 AP2 2 damage attacks. So if there's any weakness on the table in terms of like your opponent's weak on an objective, you know, like maybe they just got like a few poxwalkers on an objective or something, you can just jump onto the objective, kill a few models, then charge again, kill a few more models, and then all of a sudden that objective's flipped with only like 2 of your models. I'm just going to go and make sure that he's not bothering my wife, because if he is bothering my wife, I will be in trouble. I'll be back in a minute. Good. Right, we're good. We're good. The 3-year-old has found something to keep him busy. I think you can fall back in need. It's eligible to shoot, so it should be eligible to use a grenade. Well, there you go. Any idea of what to do against things that are in mass? 20 plus model units. We have a few things that are good against 20 plus model units. Like Ball Predators can be pretty good against that. A lot of people do take Ball Predators. Ballistic Dreadnoughts also cannot be too bad because they can shoot the Strength 5 frag, 2d6 blast. You know, Assault Intercessors with chainswords, regular Death Company with chainswords. Like, we definitely have ways of dealing with mass, I feel like. The trick is to not go too heavy into that and then go the other way, so when you play against vehicles and that, you struggle, right? I played against a list at a GT recently that was, I think it was 120 or 140 boys, orc boys, and a stomper. That was the whole list. And it was like, oh my goodness, he was playing Green Tide as well, which basically means like he's just going to advance the whole army and then charge the whole army. Like, that's the strategy, excuse me. And I did okay against that, and it came down to focus fire, like all my shooting into one or two of the big blobs of units, and then charge what's left and finish off full blobs at a time. But yeah, I think Blood Angels definitely have tools to deal with mass armies. I mean, we probably deal with them easier than we deal with some of the vehicle, like the Knight situation at the moment, honestly. Or even maybe like the Death Guard situation where everything's just so damn tanky. Leviathan Guy is playing a game tomorrow. Should I do Liberator, Assault Group, or Inheritors? You can do... I mean, here's the thing, right? You need to do a detachment you've practiced with. If you haven't practiced with either of them, then I wouldn't... Like, if you've practiced with one of them, I would keep playing that one. When I switched... Because I switched at one point from Liberator, Assault Group to Angelic Inheritors. I lost like 10 games in a row. Maybe not 10, but like it was a meaningful number of games I lost in a row. Oh, could I how am I mounting the Inceptors? So I don't know if you can see this on the bottom of the jump pack. I have drilled a hole. Can you see that hole? And then what I do, let me see if I can get one of the flight stands. I have then drilled a hole into the flight stand is attached to the base. I have drilled a hole into the top of the flight stand, and I have stuck, that's a paper clip, or you know, I use my clippers to clip off a section of a paper clip. So basically, I just find the hole, stick the stand in. There you go. I mean, they're a bit wobbly, but it means it's super easy to transport them because I can just pull it back out, right? No magnets, nothing. I mean, some people do magnets. I just drilled a hole. Let gravity do it. I do that in all my jump, guys. You just need a small, like, hand drill to be able to do that. Oh, since you guys are here, can I show you something that I've been working on and maybe just get your 2 cents on. Give me 1 sec. Let me show you this. I'll show it on my battle report stream tomorrow as well. And see what people think, right? So I've been working on this system. It's like a back-end system, right? So at the moment, this is only running locally, like it doesn't exist online yet, but the plan will be to put it online. So this is basically the Blood Angels Commander members only portal. So you will log in with your YouTube account. I think I can get it to work with Patreon as well, for people that support the channel on Patreon. But you'll log in. The reason it's saying it's not verified is because this is a test account, right? So you log in on your test account to the Blood Angels Commander member portal. So what we have first is like a unit smash program. So I can be like, I want to attack with a Sangreguard pistol. Maybe I want a second weapon as well. Like, I haven't added another weapon template, but I could add one. So I've got 2 Sangreguard pistols, right? I'm playing Carmine Wrath, so I can reroll hits and wounds of 1. I want to shoot them against a squad of Tactical Marines. And I want to know how many 2 Infernal Pistols with, like, Ballistic Skill 3, AP 4, reroll 1s and wounds would actually kill. So this would be a 10-man tactical squad. I think I would have to fill in 2 wounds per model, 10 models, 3 up save. Is there a problem here? I would hit 77% of the time. I would wound 97% of the time. They would save 16% of the time. So that is all right. This bit is not right yet. This is why I haven't shared it or I haven't done anything with it yet. But so I'm working on it. It's close. The reason I started working on this is because I have a spreadsheet that I use this sort of stuff from every week for my tactics videos, and the spreadsheet is a fucking nightmare to keep updated. So I've been building it as a like PHP website. But the advantage of it being in a website is I can share it, and anyone that is a channel member can use it, right? I also have the way you can add weapon templates. So if you had like a new weapon, you could just add it and then it would come up in the list. I also have defensive templates. So here's some of the templates I've made. We could add any single template we wanted here. How do I... Oh, I need to put a back button up here. Yeah, like it's not ready yet. So we can see who's online. We can chat. And then the other thing that I'm working on at the moment, because I guess I've been bouncing around a bit, I don't quite know exactly what I'm trying to achieve, which is why I'm showing you it, because I'm looking for feedback, but I'm looking for it to be useful for people. It's like, we can add army lists in here. So these are 3 army lists I added, one of which is like a real army list. These other 2 ones are test. The community members can vote up or down, like this is a good list, this is a bad list. We can click view list, which will bring it out like in a full screen view where like you can see the list. You can see if people are voting it. People can discuss this list. Yeah, this list sucks, you know, this sucks. So we can post our comment and then we can go, oh, yeah, actually it doesn't suck now. Delete it. And then you can see popular lists. You can see all your lists. And that's where I'm at with it. There's nothing to see in the admin section. I'm not going to show you because that's where I'm doing admin stuff. But this is something that I am actively developing. Where it goes, though, I don't know, and what I want it to achieve, I don't know. It looks like a ChatGPT design. I mean, the front end is built with AI, sure. Like, I didn't lay out all those buttons and stuff, no. But this is what I have been building. And I don't know where I want to go with it. I don't know what I want it to... I definitely want the combat calculator to work 100%, where So when I'm making my videos for YouTube, I'm using that combat calculator. But I mean, like, I feel like and here's the thing, that combat calculator always needs to be up to date, right? Because I always make tactics videos, and I always use, like, at the moment I do it all in a spreadsheet. And my spreadsheet is fugly as hell. It's been fugly for like 3 years. It's so difficult to maintain. And yeah, I just want to get away from the spreadsheet, because I think I could make content quicker if I didn't have to arse myself around with this really bad spreadsheet that I put together like 5 years ago. So I've got work to do on this, probably like a month's work, but I don't really know what features it should have or what would be useful for people. So I'm probably going to be developing it over the next month. I'm probably going to show it a couple more times over the next month as more and more functionality starts actually working fully. And then my idea is that just to like share it with the community, so anyone that's a channel member can just log in, anyone that's on a Patreon can just log in and can just use it to help them. You know, you're playing against knights tomorrow, you know what knights you're playing against. So yeah, if anyone has any thoughts on that, even if they, you know, like, even if it's a thought that comes up after the stream has ended or anything like that, I'd love to hear it, because I would like it to be useful. I feel like I don't really do that many perks for members. I think it would be a cool perk. Because, like, you know, other channels do, like, well, we release members only content, or we release videos early for members. I don't really do that. I'm a one-man band, so to speak, so I don't really have the bandwidth to do that. But I do have the bandwidth to do this, and that is like my forte. Like, maths is my forte. And like, if I'm going to be using it, it'll need to be 100% right and finished. So I think in the next month I should have it finished. I thought the green name is reward enough. Well, not everyone is as awesome as you, Matthew. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, I think it would just be handy, and it would be a way to, I think I would like it. Like, I think it's used, like, the videos I make are intended to help you make good decisions in a battle, right? Some of us support for non-gifts. Yeah, no, I get that, dude. I 100% get that. I mean, technically, almost everybody that's been supporting has been supporting because they want to, you know? But, like, if I have the ability to give something cool back that is, like, I guess, bottom line is, I would like it to be something that people felt is valuable. Because if it's not valuable, then it's worth nothing. Not worth nothing in a monetary way. But, like, if everyone's like, it's cool, but we're not going to use it, then it's worth nothing, right? Like, I would like it to be worth something in terms of, like, people are like, I'm playing a game tomorrow, I'm playing against, like, Doomsday Arcs, you know, that was a unit that came up earlier in the stream. I don't know if my captain and 3 Sangry Guard can kill a Doomsday Arc in 1 round of combat. I would like to know that before the game. I'll be able to just quickly go onto the website, I'll be able to just plug that in and go, oh, actually, statistically, my captain and the 3 Sangry Guard, they only do, let's say, 10 damage to Doomsday Arc. I don't even know the hit points of a Doomsday Arc. Let's just say it's 12. So I know if I'm going to fight the Doomsday Arc, I need to be weakening it first, throwing a grenade at it, hitting my unit with Red Rampage, right? I thought the Army List show was already a great perk. Okay. No, yeah, maybe I'm quite self-deprecating at times. Yeah, maybe. Do you feel you're doing content marketing with selling anything into the market? No, I'm not planning on selling it. I'm just planning it as a perk for people to use if they support the channel. Is that... GW just announced price increases. It's going up 4% in October. The whole world is in a weird place of inflation, Eternal Crusader. Everything everywhere is going up. I'm sure if you've been in one of my streams, I was mentioning that we were in Disney Paris this summer with our kids, and a bottle of Coca-Cola is €4.20 now, and a black coffee or a double espresso is $5.50 now. Everything is just going up all of the time, it feels like. It will not be long before like a cup of espresso is £10 or €10 or $10 or whatever. It's like it's the world. It's bonkers. Everything is going up and it rhymes with dump. Yeah. How do Blood Angels fare against Astra Militarum? I picked Blood Angels, then my buddy picked Militarum. I worried to counter me. I don't think so. There's two typical types of Astra Militarum lists. There's the I'm going to take all the tanks list, and there's I'm going to take all the guardsmen's list. If they take all the tanks, then it can be difficult. I guess all the guardsmen can be difficult as well, but I feel like all the guardsmen is something that we are more likely to be able to beat. All the tanks, at least their tanks don't have invuns. So if you bring some high AP shooting, you should be okay. I don't think guardsmen are necessarily a counter for Blood Angels. And here's the thing, see if you play Imperial Guard and you run one of those like 200 model army lists, you'll run out of time in so many games that you'll lose the game just because you've run out of time. I don't think, yeah, I think Imperial Guard are totally, like, how are we into Thousand Suns, says Torzen. Right, so I've played the new Thousand Suns a whole massive one time since they got their new codex. To be fair, I think they only got their new codex like maybe 8 weeks ago or something like that. The Rubric Marines are bonkers good now. They have like reroll wounds all the time. And if you're on an objective, I think it's reroll wounds of 1 all the time. And if you're on an objective, it's reroll all wounds. And if they take like 30 Rubric Marines with the AP2 Ignore Cover Flamers, my god, they do a lot of damage. And their Overwatch is friggin' disgusting. So the Rubric Marines are quote-unquote, like they are a huge problem. They are really nasty. Magnus is fine. He's strong, but he will die fairly quickly. Vortex Beasts can hit very, very hard, but I mean, they're just, I think they're like, maybe like T8, or maybe it's T9, 5-up invuln. Just feels kind of like fighting a standard vehicle. So I think the Thousand Suns feel like they have a lot of power in their flamers, like a scary amount. They also do a kind of a scary amount of mortal wounds, because every single unit that's got, well, basically every unit's going to be led by like a sorcerer who can basically like smite or doombolt. So they have a good amount of mortal wound output. They have a very good amount of flamer output. Magnus has some pretty good shooting as well, but the one time I played them, I did beat them. I thought they were somewhat strong, but I didn't like. I think if you can play around the rubrics, you're probably okay. I honestly thought the rubrics were the scariest thing. Maybe someone in chat who played Thousand Suns more than me will tell me if there's something scarier, but I just thought like the rubrics with the full rolls to wound just meant like my jump infantry were very vulnerable. And usually if someone can counter our jump infantry, they're, you know, countering the jump infantry is like half the step towards countering the Blood Angels, right? 4 years of membership, Phil. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. See you, Commander. Take care. Volkar, thanks for hanging out. A squad of rubrics nearly wiped Lamartas and 10 for me a few weeks ago. They're nasty. Yes, they can only do 4 powers though, right? They can only do 4 powers, but every librarian will be able to, or sorry, every sorcerer, they're not called librarians, right? Every sorcerer is going to be able to smite. And their powers are pretty reliable now, because they can throw a third D6 to make their powers Like, I think if they fail to cast, they can opt to throw like a third dice now. So the powers are pretty reliable, their mortal wounds are pretty reliable, their flamers are really fucking scary. I think they're not a walkover, but they are beatable. This is why, like, last week I did that video on the Dark Angels, and I kind of knew that the viewership would be down on that video, because if any video I do that isn't about Blood Angels, the viewership is down. But, like, if I'm familiar with an enemy, going forward, I'm going to make a video about that enemy so that, like, us Blood Angels players know how to deal with said enemy. Does that make sense? So, like, I made that video. I played against Dark Angels. My goodness, they were strong to deal with. And then I was like, right, I'm going to make a... Like, I know how that Dark Angels list works. I know how it's strong. I know what you have to avoid. So I'm going to make a video about that. And that's something that I haven't really been doing on the channel before, but I'm going to try and do that more often as well. So if you do see a video from me that's about another faction, as much as it is about the other faction, it is also about how we as Blood Angels players deal with said faction, right? But dude, thanks so much for being a member for 4 years. Some of the long-term memberships like that, they fucking blow me away, man. I can't even picture where I was 4 years ago with the channel, you know, like, it's just so long ago. So the fact that you've stuck with me 4 years, I appreciate that more than you know, my friend. So thank you so much. Playing Inheritors in a local 20-entry tournament tomorrow. Lists are BU pretty excited. Lists are in. Oh, but you're pretty excited. The Chaos Demons, Chaos Knights, and a Death Guard player. Well, Death Guard are definitely beatable now. I think Demons are beatable as well. Chaos Knights. I mean, when you play Knights in general, it really comes down to, can you kill 2 Knights a turn? That's sort of like the bottom line. That's why people call Knights a stat check. If you can kill 2 Knights a turn, you're in good stead. If you fail to kill 2 Knights, maybe not in the later turns, but like in turn 1, you need to kill 2. In turn 2, you need to kill 2. In turn 3, you need to kill 2. If you're not doing that, you're probably going to have a very big problem. Because they'll just overrun you in terms of, like, they've got too many units alive that are still doing lots of damage. But yeah, I mean, I think Inheritor's in a good spot right now. I mean, I think the Death Guard points drop, or points increase, helps us a lot. Like, I beat Death Guard for the first time in what feels like probably 6 months, or, well, maybe it doesn't, it feels like 6 months, but it would be like 3 months since their codex came out, right? I've never played Knights before, so kill 2 a turn, I got it. Yeah, okay, well, yeah. You've never played Knights. Here's the thing, though, right? Like, if you're going to a tournament and you're going to fight armies you have never played before, dude, the main thing I would say is try and have fun at the tournament and don't beat yourself up. It took me ages, literally ages, to win a tournament. Like years and years and years. And I got to the top table a couple of times in the early days. Maybe from a little bit of luck, or maybe just got preferable matchups or something. And I got to the top table and I put so much pressure on myself, and then I just capitulated so hard. So, like, I feel like if you're going to a tournament and you're going to play an army you've never played before, then regardless of regardless if you play them first or you play them last, it's a learning tournament, right? And you're going to have, like, I think the bottom line, unless you're insanely lucky or you're insanely good at the game, you're going to have to play at least 10 or 15 learning tournaments before you win a tournament. Because 40k is a complicated game and there's a lot of good 40k players at every tournament you go to. Yeah, knights are very much like, if you aren't killing enough of them every turn, you just get overrun. That's like the general rule of thumb against knights. And even then, sometimes you can manage to kill 2 or 3 knights every turn like you need to, and you still lose the game because these knights have a pretty obnoxious level of OC, right? Like every model is like OC 6 or OC 8. Some of them are even OC 12 or something, so even if you're killing them, they're still out OCing you and scoring lots of primary points. So knights are just difficult to deal with in general, I would say. I've had tournaments where I've beaten them, I've had tournaments where they've stomped all over me. Is expected to lose every game at a tournament? Yeah, I mean... Hey, I just went to a tournament playing a new army for the first time and I lost 4 out of 5 games. But I had fun, so try and have fun, man. Like, because if you don't have fun at the tournament, why are you going to go to another one, right? It's more important to have fun than to win every game. Baby Han says, I'm going to play my first game this week. That's cool, man. Like I said, try and have fun. Because, I mean, I think that's what keeps you playing long term. Is he okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't close the door. I think it just blew closed. The window's open, yeah. Some of my best tournaments, like the ones I've had the most fun at, are like tournaments where I've like lost the first game and I've sort of realized, like, god damn it, I've lost the first game. I'm never gonna like. I'd have been going to the tournament hoping to go, hoping to win it. Really, lose the first game, so the chances of winning are already out the window. And then, like, the second game, let's say, I had a really difficult opponent that my army maybe couldn't deal with, and I've lost the second game. And I was like, right, well, this tournament is over for me. But I could, I could make some friends on day 2, and I could, give my opponent some advice. And I've done that, and I've won best sportsmanship at tournaments before. And in some ways, best sportsmanship is just as hard, if not harder, to win than top, right? Because best sportsmanship, you need all 5 people you play against to be like, that was my best game of the whole 2 days. So you need to be like totally friendly, totally fair. Make sure your opponent, if he forgets the rule, help them out, But like, it feels very rewarding to win best sportsmanship. I would love to win best sportsmanship again. I would love to win it as much as I would love to win a tournament again. Honestly, like it's. I don't think people put enough emphasis on how important winning best sportsmanship is. Because it's fucking hard to be the 5 different opponents' best game at a tournament, right? Like, especially when you are literally trying to kill all their models, right? Like, like, how do you make 5 friends when you're at the table where I'm like, what's that quote from Conan? Like, what is best in life? To see your enemies driven before you. That's an old movie now. 40k needs more good sports. There's some channels that really go hard on that, man. I have a lot of respect for the people that go hard on that, I feel like, because there's nothing worse than turning up for a game of 40k and it just being like a slog fest of, are you sure you moved that model 6 inches and not 6.1 inches? You know, like, are you sure you're getting that rule right? Like, it's just not fun, I guess. So yeah, sportsmanship is right up there on my book as like one of the most important things. God, I feel like these Inceptors are going to need so much cleanup. I'm going to have spent this entire stream just putting a second coat of lead belcher on all the friggin' piping and the armor joints and got pretty much nothing else done. A lot of piping and armor joints on the Inceptors, yes. And there's only 3 of them. So yeah, greetings, Silent Phoenix. How's things going, dude? Have you had any new units painted since the little one came along, or are you getting any time to yourself? Haha, Marius Gage, look at that. We're just talking about best sportsman. It couldn't happen to a nicer person. How about that? Well done, Jonathan. Congrats on best sportsman. I'm sure you deserved it. Please tell me you took Gilliman again in boarding actions. I reckon, let me guess, I think you took a list with Marnius Calgar, I bet you. Marnius Calgar and some Sternguard. Were you at the GW store in Aberdeen then? Oh, it was Grey Knights. Oh. I guess Grey Knights might be good in boarding actions. Lots of Terminators. Lots of 2-up saves. When I played Space Marine 2 for the first time in a little while on Thursday night, I think maybe when I first started playing Space Marine 2, I looked at it wrongly. Like I loaded that game every time for the PvP content, like the deathmatch content, and I think that might have been the weakest part of that game, honestly. Because I was playing co-op on Thursday, and I felt like the co-op was really, really fun. And like when I played the PvP mode, I just churned out and was like, all the maps feel kind of the same. The game modes don't have too much depth. But the co-op content seems really cool. I was impressed, actually. I was impressed enough where I was like, damn, I want to play more Space Marine 2. 2 Terminator squads with the Apothecaries. Oh yeah, because the Grey Knight Apothecaries can bring a model back to life every turn, can't they? Sneaky, sneaky. I suppose that's the perfect environment for them, like a little crowded boarding actions where it's like you can't get too much firepower on my Terminators, so they're always going to be like 1 or 2 alive, and then we'll just Apothecary pop one of them back alive. Good evening. Good. Oh, well, I always say good evening. I think it's because I usually stream in the evening. It is the early afternoon here in the UK. I'm going to be live for maybe another 20 minutes or so, maybe 25. Afternoon Lone Moose, painting my Blood Angels, Judasaur, and Chaplain. Nice. I feel like I'm I've put a lot of time into these Inceptors now, but we still have an awful lot to do on them. But yeah, so I've been playing more Plasma in my army than I've ever played before. And I think I was very, very against Plasma for the longest time. But I am now truly and firmly on Team Plasma Gun. Yeah, I was enjoying having the Plasma Gun overcharged in Space Marine 2 as well. Like, that's really fun. The Plasma Gun is very good in that game, it feels like. Much better than the bolters, anyway. Like, when you're shooting the Tyrannid warriors with the bolters, it just feels like you're doing nothing to them. It's like you're emptying clips into Tyrannid warriors, and it's like they're just standing there with their two swords crossed across their chests. Like, are you shooting me with a bolt gun? Because I don't really care about it. Well, that's what it feels like when you're shooting the nids. Yeah, I know I need an apothecary in that second Hellblaster unit, but I can't fit it in. Highland Phoenix. I don't know how I changed the list to fit the apothecary in. My original plan for that list when I was building it was going to be with 2 apothecaries with Hellblasters. But it just doesn't fit. And there's nothing else, like, there's nothing that can be cut, I feel like. But yeah, having the apothecary bring the Hellblasters back to life every time they blow themselves up is pretty useful. I think one of my apothecaries did like 3 revives this week, right? Pretty useful. Excuse me. Does Cotias pull his weight? I think that when he removes cover from a unit, yeah, he really does pull his weight. Because AP3 from the Plasmas and AP3 from the Vindicator tanks, ignoring cover, is just very, very good. Obviously, sometimes he doesn't. I know I only have played him twice, so sort of forgetting that I forgot in that final game or that final turn against Death Guard to remove cover from the Rhino, and I would have killed the Rhino if I'd removed the cover from it. So I think as long as you remember to remove the cover, it's good. I hate it when my rattle can runs out of primer and you have to use paint on primer. It's such a drag, man. It's like, do you remember when you were a kid and you were like saying to your parents, can I get another can of spray paint? And they were like, no, you had a can of spray paint last week. You're not allowed any more spray paint. So you had to paint the undercoat on your models and you're like, oh, so boring and it's such a drag. That's what it feels like as an adult, I think, to like, you run out of primer, like you've got models you want to get done this week, but you run out of primer on like a Saturday in the evening when the shops are closed and you can't get any more primer and you're like, oh, I just got to paint this primer on. You know, like, I don't want to be painting primer on. I just want to spray and be done with it. I often used to base coat by hand, man. Not fun. You weren't into the hobby when you were a kid? I was. I think my first box set was like 93, which I would have been 10, I think. Something like that. Jason, hello. Thanks for dropping past. I know Redemptors are overcosted, but what's your thoughts on giving him sustained in Inheritors? I did try run one a few times in place of Inceptors. Feels like he did more than the Inceptors. I guess you give him sustained, and what does he get sustained on? His rocket pods, his bolters, his plasma gun. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, I feel like. I don't really understand why Redemptors are still so many points, though. Like, I think they would probably sell more Redemptors, and also they'd just see more play if they were like... I mean, I think last edition they used to be 185 points. The Vindicator tank's 185 points, gets a lot of play. Maybe if Redemptors were 185 points, they'd get some play. I don't really know why they're so expensive. I mean, I think it was I think like Iron Hands or Gladius or some nonsense were like comboing up something to make them very good. But I think all that combo stuff has been nerfed, right? Like, was it not like the Iron Hands enhancements giving them all lethal hits or something? Like, was that not what was making them too powerful? That's been nerfed for ages. Like, months and months and months that's been nerfed. I do think that Games Workshop have a tendency of nerfing stuff and not necessarily going back to the sort of quote-unquote linked units that sort of got the indirect nerf and just leaving them wherever they may have ended up, which is honestly not great. So, for example, I have 3 Redemptor Dreadnoughts. I can't remember the last time I fielded any... Well, I can remember it. I fielded like 1 or 2 of them at the start of 10th edition, and I thought, oh my god, these things are too expensive. Just ask aggressors, yeah. Marius, drive safe. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Games Workshop, like, my opinion is they should have come out in 10th edition, at the start of 10th edition, and told us what units are going to live. Like, I think in general, right here, like, we have 2 situations, and this is what's right. I'll tell you what I think is going to happen is 11th edition is going to be announced, new box set. Everyone will go and pre-order it. After it's announced, maybe like a month after it's announced, they will Legends a bunch of stuff. They'll just say, these Space Marine units, they're no longer in the Codex. They're all gone, right? That's probably what's going to happen. That's pretty much what happened in 10th edition. Please someone correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that is the flow. That is what has happened. What I think would be better is if they said now, or even longer ago, in 11th edition, these 10 units are not going to be in the new Codex. Like, announce it today. Then no one can be upset when they go and invest in the new edition and their favourite units aren't there anymore, because you know it's coming up in front. Right? Does that make sense? Like, I think they should have, like, in this whole edition, this entire edition, people will come into the chat, in the channel, and be like, John, I'm thinking of buying some Vindicator tanks. What do you think? I was like, I've got no fucking idea. Like, I think they might be Legends, but nobody knows, and they might not be, so you might be totally fine. Like, buy your Vindicator tanks, you'll be able to use them all next edition. It'll be all sweet, you know? But there is a chance that you won't be able to use any of them. And I don't know, and I just think that if there was more notice as well, people might not be as salty. Because, like, if you told me today, alright, Vindicator tanks are going to be here for 11th edition, but they're going in 12th edition, I can make an informed decision where I'm like, right, so if I bought a Vindicator tank today, because I have 2, and I've been thinking for a while that I might want 3. I mean, I've considering how useful they are, you can totally run a list with 3 Vindicator tanks, right? And I've been thinking for a while, like, if I had 3, would that be cool? But if I could make an informed decision where it's like, okay, if I buy a Vindicator tank today, I have 4 years to play with it, then it's going to Legends. Then that's on me if I buy it and it goes to Legends. I can't really complain at that point, right? Because I'd be like, well, I knew when I bought it, it was going to have 4 years of shelf life. What's a Vindicator tank cost? Like $50? So I know it's going to cost me like $12.50 a year to have that Vindicator tank, and I know I'm going to lose it. I mean, if you look at like your broadband bill, most people's broadband bills, I assume, my broadband bill is like probably 30 or 40 a month. So 50 over 4 years is pretty good value, you could argue, right? If you're going to use it every week, if you're going to play a game of Warhammer every week, then that's pretty fine value. And you can't really be upset if it gets Legends in 4 years, because you know that's happening up in front. And I think that would be a really positive thing. Because then when people come into the channel and say, oh, you know, I must have been asked 100 times, are Vindicator tanks going Legends in 11th edition? And I was like, I don't know. Why would I know? I don't have any inside information. I mean, Valrak might know. But I think the main point of it is just like, if you don't give anyone any notice, that's what annoys people, right? I miss the Librarian Dreadnought. Yeah, mine's in a display cabinet, collecting dust. But yeah, I think what annoys people and what makes them rage quit out the hobby is the not knowing, or is the like, you know that meme where it's the guy and it's like, surprise, you know, in the swear word. You know, I think that's what annoys people. At least that's what annoyed me. Because right before 10th edition came out, I bought a bunch of models. I bought a Terrax Siege Drill. I bought a Vindicator Laser Destroyer. I bought an Ironclad Dreadnought. Terrax Siege Drill was like $60-70. Ironclad Dreadnought probably like $30. Vindicator Laser Destroyer probably like $60-70. So I spent like $170 in the 2 or 3 months before 10th edition came out. Every single one of those models went to Legends. And I think that's what annoys people, right? No warning, no notice, no information. It's the uncertainty. We don't know what will happen after we have lost. It would reduce income for them. Would it though, right? Like if they said tomorrow, Vindicator tanks are going to be okay for four more years, you think it would reduce income? I think it would. I think there's a lot of people that haven't bought Vindicator tanks this edition because they think they're going to Legends in 11th. I personally used to buy probably in the region of, let's say, $200 or $300 of models every 3 months. So I probably spent somewhere in the region of like £700 or £800 a year just buying kits to do conversions with, just buying random stuff. Every year I'd buy random kits. Every year I'd buy more Vanguard Veteran kits. Every year I'd buy more Death Company kits. Every year I'd buy more Sangre Guard kits. I'd use all those kits to make cool conversions. I would just do a lot all the time. And I think that, honestly, since they started legendsing everything, my spending just went right off a cliff. And it wasn't totally a conscious decision to throw it off a cliff, but like, why am I going to spend my money on stuff that's just going to get phased out without any prior notice or warning? Essentially, it's like me just throwing my money in the toilet, right? Like, I don't care about Horus Heresy. Like, I am going to go play another game. I play 40k. That's where all my time and effort is invested in. When they say, like, on the Warhammer community, sometimes they'll say, like, the old drop pod, you can use it in Horus Heresy. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm not playing Horus Heresy. I'm playing 40k. That's why I bought the model for 40k. God, I didn't mean to get ranty. but it got that way. Lone Moose bought the Librarian Dreadnought literally 2 weeks before. Yeah, so I guess here's the thing, a lot of people have had bad experiences of buying models a few weeks before Legends. I actually saw a post on Reddit, right, it's like a brand new player, and he'd like walked into like some random hobby store, and he'd bought like the Death Company Dreadnought, and like a box of something else that was Legends. Like 2 Blood Angels models. You just walk into hobby store, thought those things were cool, had bought the things, and came onto Reddit and was like, I can't find these models in the codex. And people were like, yeah, dude, you just bought... The stuff you bought is all Legends, so you can't use any of it. Like a brand new player into the hobby, and he just accidentally bought 2 Legends models. And it's like, oh. Well, that's a good first experience, right? I mean, you could argue that's just one person, and it's not really a big deal, but... I guess that's the risk of just like legendsing stuff without timeline or without warning or whatever you want to call that, right? GW strategy failed. They have me buying a lot less now, says Highland Phoenix. Yeah, me too. And I don't know if I ever wanted to be in a situation where I'm just like, I'm buying less. But I am. I think they realised that production lines were their limit and they needed to cut like 200 or 300 kits. Are they the limit though, Calgar? Because every 3 months or every 6 months, I don't really I don't pay too much attention to the, you know, the royalty, not the royalty report, excuse me. You know, when they whatever it is, because they're a public limited company, they like announce their profits, whatever that's called. It must just be called like, I don't know what it's called, like their monthly revenue, their quarterlies or something. Yeah, I think it's like quarterly revenue, right? Every single time they announce earnings report, thank you. Every time they announce those earnings reports, they've got profit. Like there's plenty of profit. So if there's plenty of profit, you could argue they could have just invested a little bit of that profit to all of those other production lines and things would be just rosy. I guess I don't know the ins and outs. But I don't know if I buy the fact that like they have too many unique kits. Right? Like I'm pretty sure their profit reports are like 100 million every quarter. Like they could invest some of that to handle more of the unique kits, I feel like. And wouldn't that just get them more profit because more people would buy the unique kits? Or hey, I'm not a business. I don't know, you know, I don't want to make too much opinions because I don't know what I'm talking about. But I do like my situation, I don't think is unique in that like I am buying less, not necessarily because I wanted to, but because that's just the way it seems to have transpired. But maybe I just like conversions too much, and if there's not opportunities there to do big cool conversions, then I don't know what we can do. I'm waiting for the collab with your wife and Beans on Toast. I am gonna make a video about Beans on Toast, Jason. You've been a member for 39 months. You have asked about it multiple times. I think it has to happen. It's going to be October though, because I'm planning to try and do I think I'm planning to try and do at least 36, maybe a 48-hour fast in October. So when I finish my fast, I'm going to break it with Beans on Toast, because beans have lots of protein in them. It'll be good, promise. I promise. They need to feed the shareholders, I guess. But I'm pretty sure if they also said to the, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like when a business has shareholders, they are allowed to say, we're maybe not paying you as much money this month because we are going to invest it in, you know, making these new kits or something like that, right? Like, they are allowed to say that. I know they do need profit for their shareholders, but they don't have to, not at all ends or something. Storage space, logistics. I mean, there's got to be some stinkers. Yeah, I just don't know if I thought any of the Blood Angels kits were stinkers, right? The Sangre Guard kit surely was not a stinker. The Death Company kit surely was not a stinker. The Vanguard Vet kit was not a stinker. I'm in the 10 years or something that I was playing Firstborn Marines, I would be surprised if I didn't buy 5 of each. Well, I had 30 Sangre Guard, so that was at least 6 kits. I had 30 Vanguard Veterans, again, that would have been 6 kits. I probably have 50 Death Company, don't ask me why. So that would have been 10 kits. So in 10 years, I bought, 22 of those kits. Am I weird? I feel like a lot of Blood Angels players had 30 Sangre Guard. That was like a known thing. Like, people wanted to have 30 Sangre Guard. People didn't always field 30, but people wanted to have 30, right? GW have apparently pulled production back to the UK with a new factory opening in February. Well, maybe that'll make a difference. Right, I got like 2 more minutes, guys, and then I got to run. If there's any final question, now is the time. If not, we'll be back tomorrow night for the Armyless show. If anyone wants to leave a comment on the members portal thing that I showed earlier, that would be super appreciated, because I really want to make this members portal, but I need a little bit of help with direction and a little bit of feedback from anyone that's interested. So if anyone saw that bit in the video and have a mull about it, have a think about it, drop a comment, would be super appreciated. So I've been live for 2 hours and 2 minutes. That took 2 hours and 2 minutes to just paint over all the grey that I did last time with Lead Belcher. I didn't even include washing it. Jesus. This is why I'm a slow painter. Excuse me. Excuse me. New rules for the Death Watch and Kill Team came out this morning. Necron Kill Team. Production in the UK explains why it gets more expensive. I don't know if it would have mattered. We live in a world now where everything gets more expensive all of the time. It feels like. Since COVID hit, that's just like the world we live in now. I'd like it not to be like that, but honestly, since COVID hit, it seems like it's never quite recovered back to where things are sane, right? But guys, thanks so much for hanging out. It's always a pleasure. It must have been... Do you know what? I'll show it real quick and then I gotta run because I gotta pick up my daughter. So I'm working on this site thing. It is like a site. Me run it. It's only running locally at the moment. But what it's going to be is like the Blood Angels Commander member portal. And what you're going to get in the member portal is the Unit Smasher app, which lets you like load up your weapon templates. The only one I've got at the moment because I'm testing is the Infernal Pistol. You would be able to add more weapon templates. You would be able to add defensive templates. So we load up our weapon template. We load up our defensive template. We see like what our stats are. I haven't quite got all the code working for all these tick boxes yet, but we see like, we've got lethal hits, we've got anti-armor, whatever. We could add some more, we could add like the whole squad. So if it was like different melee profiles, we could add it all. Then we can calculate damage. This last bit, the final outcome, isn't working, but these bits are. And it's working out like the hit chance, it's working out the wound chance, it's working out the saving throw. Ignore this isn't there yet, right? But that's the next thing to get sorted. I also have, so you saw that you can add weapon templates, you can add defensive templates. It's got like an online section, so you can see who's online, you can chat. It's got a section for army lists, so people can submit their army lists. Like this is a list I submitted, you can click view. You can see the list on the left, you can put comments, you can edit your comments, you can delete your comments, you can upvote the list. I guess you can't downvote it once you've upvoted it, maybe I'll change that. But you can, you can't, oh, that button doesn't work. So it works if you upvote it here. It doesn't work if you upvote it here yet. I'm working on it. So I'm working, I don't know what all I want it to do, but I'm making progress. I'd love to hear some comments on, like, here's my thought. If it's not useful and no one's going to use it, then it's a waste of my time, right? What is this magical portal? Well, it's going to look something like this. At the moment, it's like this is hosted on my local machine because it's like a test server, right? But the idea is that, like, if you're a channel member or you're a patron, you just be able to log in with your YouTube account because it all links to YouTube. This is like a test account, and it's saying Google hasn't verified it. Yeah, because it's testing, right? So it's not live in any way, shape, or form yet. But this is what I'm working on, and I think I'll be ready in about a month. But I'd like some feedback, and I'm probably going to let some people into it early, like to help me get it better. But if it's not good, then it's worthless. If that makes sense, like it needs to be something that people feel like there's value in. There's something that people feel like they want to use it, right? So that's the ultimate goal. It's something that people see as valuable and they want to use it, and it helps them in a way, shape, or form. So I'm going to keep building it. Does the back end work? Yeah, but it's running on a local server, right? So it runs on my PC. Like I need to go into the folder that exists on my like local PC, and I need to run the file. It's all saved in JSON. But I think I can have it ready in like a month, and I can have some more, like I can have the unit calculator, like the next step is to get the unit calculator to 100%. Then maybe fix some of the bugs on the army list bit. But if there's anything else people can think of, or if there's anything that people could change based on that super quick tutorial, and I will let some people in to test it early when it's a little bit further, I would love to hear thoughts, because I don't exactly know what I want it to do, right? Like, I just want it to be useful for us as a Blood Angels community in general, right? Another reason PC. Very kind, Jason. But yeah, so if you guys, I'll show it off like on some of the army shows and some of the live streams over the next month as it gets closer. And I think it would be a cool perk for people to be able to use. But if there's something that people feel like would be really useful that it could add to it, I'd love to know. So on that note, I need to run and pick up my daughter. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow night at 8 PM for the weekly Army List show. Thanks so much for hanging out, and leave a like on today's stream if you are so inclined. If not, no worries. I'll see you tomorrow, 8 PM. Thanks again for watching, and good night. Good afternoon. Bye-bye.